Hi YouTube, this is VidHead85, and I just recorded a video about Republicans getting on my last nerve. And I want to talk to the moderate Republicans who are saying, we're not all like that, I'm for fiscal conservatism and all this other stuff. Well, let me tell you something. We're not gonna remember the loud cries of our enemies that say the sky is gonna fall if, you know, gay people get the same rights, and if social programs are kept intact, and if Medicare and Medicaid and SSI still stay. What we're gonna remember are those moderates that said, you know what, I'm voting for this guy because he has that fiscal conservatism that I like, and yet his social agenda is so far off the charts that you end up being a collateral damage in the middle of that. If you're a Republican or moderate Republican that's in a union and you voted for Scott Walker, shit on you as far as I'm concerned, because I mean, these people are all for big businesses being able to rape and pillage, and yet when we react back, like let's say Bonnie and Clyde, or some other, you know, when we you know, let's say cheat on our taxes. Don't big businesses do that all the time and pay no taxes every single year? Like, I've seen so many people where they say, you know, they need tax relief. What about our tax relief? We basically got something passed in New York where it only amounts to 35 cents every single year tax cut for us. I'm sorry, 53 years and we've only get 35 fucking cents for a tax cut? I'm sorry. I could spend that on the bus. I spend more than that to get like a small cup of coffee that I can use, so I can use the internet at a coffee shop I go to. 35 cents a year, yeah, I can retire in Barbados and live the high life up with 35 cents a year. I'll save that, you know, put it in a nice little jar, retirement fund. Oh, and speaking of retirement, Republicans in most of the social right wing and Tea Party insurgency, they don't want to see us retire. What they want to see us do is work ourselves to the bone, to exhaustion, and you know what? Oh, that's not their problem because they've already got money. Now, I was on Facebook, and I saw something about the whole rise of the social conservative movement and whatever, especially in the South, because Lord knows, oh my goodness, they're so red. I don't know, like, I don't think the color red isn't red enough for some of these people. But what they were talking about was, you know, like social autonomy and all this other stuff, and you know, like the plantation mentality where, you know, it is my free right to exploit every single person on this plantation because it's mine, you know, and that's what they want to return us to, way before there were any rights that could be defended in the court of law, you know, on behalf of the little guy, which the court systems were meant to protect. But now, because of its whole partisanism, they don't even look at the rule of law anymore. Now, Citizens United, they reversed a Montana law, and I find that bullshit because of course, why were ballot initiatives even given in Montana? Why were a lot of the Midwest given ballot initiatives? It's because they were sick and tired of seeing all three branches of government run by rich people. In fact, Montana, the legislature, they could not be elected unless they went along with the top gold miners, and they had sway over the judges that were appointed. And of course, the governor, come on, really, you know, those three branches, the main two branches, the executive and the legislative branches, had to work together to appoint the judicial candidates. So no matter what, even if it was a system of checks and balances, as long as we got you in my pocket, yeah, you're not going to get anywhere. Yeah, okay, we can appoint you to a small post, you know, but we're not going to give you anything that will strike a major blow unless you really, you know, unless you're all in with us. So moderates, they're looking at you, I'm looking at you. How are you going to vote for people who will quash your rights to even vote for a moderate candidate? And even now, the Republican Party has taken such a hard right that a moderate, you almost have to pull a Mitt Romney in order to get elected. And I hate you. Mitt Romney just makes me nauseous because he was pretty good as a Republican, and at first he probably was maybe a Lincoln Republican at first, but now I don't even think Lincoln or Reagan would even recognize their party because they took such a hard right. But then again, I think Reagan would probably be in line with a lot of the social issues or whatever. And the reason why I even mentioned Reagan is because, yeah, you know what, he was just a charismatic fucktard who died recently. But still, you know, like, I want to, if I ever were president, I think actually Obama is the Democratic Reagan, to be honest with you, you know, because but then again, he also does double talk. I think politics demands double talk sometimes because of the compromises and whatever else that you got to do, because you got to work with all these people who are, some are for you, some are against you. And even the Democratic Party, of course, we got to get our shit together, because I'm sick and tired of the infighting that dooms us. We can't do anything right. But when Republicans are in control, oh yeah, you sure know it, because they're passing bills over vaginas, they're passing bills over public health, because they want to limit you from having condoms to even put on, female or male. They want to stop you from having birth control. They want to stop you from doing everything over your body, but yet they want government so small it could fit in your vagina or up your ass, or taking it out because, you know, they're saying gay people this and that or whatever. But, you know, you hear this, you hear them beating the shit out of the LGBT people, black people, poor people, but then again, you say that we're the problem, and that, you know what, I'm gonna vote for this Republican, because why? They're gonna cut taxes, they're gonna do this, but they're not gonna cut taxes on you. So stop voting for them. Stop voting for them. You know, how come the worst Republican, or the worst Republican is better than the best Democrat? Like, how do you get this? Okay, yeah, you think that Democrats are all for, you know, big government or whatever, but at least we give a fuck about the people that we're legislating over. Does that make any sense to you? And if it doesn't, then you just don't have a heart whatsoever. And you know what? You deserve every single thing you get if you're a moderate voting for these hard right candidates that only want your vote and won't really represent you. So if you're a middle class bozo who's trying to get ahead, and, you know, you're stuck behind all these student loan bills or something like that from college, thank a Republican. If you are a poor person, if you are in an urban neighborhood and you have a healthcare clinic that just shut down, thank a Republican. If you, I don't know, are on Social Security and it just got cut, or you're having a runaround, a major runaround, because it's fun to run around, and, you know, in the meantime, you're facing all of these bills, thank a Republican. If you're only being paid minimum wage, and, you know, everything's just feeling like, you know, your check is gone before you can even get there, one, thank yourself for not having enough financial literacy, but also, that's only a small part of it, thanks for the Republicans being able to say, hey, they should be able to jack up prices. If you're gay and you just got fired, and let's say Tennessee, thank a Republican. I could go on and on and on and on and on with thanking Republicans, but hey, you vote for them, you deserve every pile of shit that falls on you. Have a great day, YouTube.